Hi Libra, welcome to February and happy Valentine's Day. This is Teresa from Tarot by T. And before I start your reading, I'm going to call in some good energy and create some sacred space around this reading. This month we have a new moon in Aquarius, which is favorable to your sign on February 4th, and a full moon in Virgo on February 19th. And both these moons are they don't have any negative aspects or tense aspects. So this is a good month for initiating things. So let's see what's happening with Libra. What does Libra need to know about love and relationships for the month of February? What does Libra need to know about love and relationships for the month of February? What is coming up for Libra in love for February? What does Libra need to know? Okay. Let's see what we have. The Justice card. The Seven of Swords, the Nine of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, the Chariot, the Two of Cups, the Ten of Wands, the Three of Wands, and the Five of Swords. So, with the Justice card, you've got the Justice card crossed by the Seven of Swords. You may feel like you're being treated unfairly in a partnership. The Seven of Swords, Justice usually in the upright means a decision that goes in your favor. It represents karma. It can mean some type of legal situation that you might be concerned with. And with the Seven of Swords, that's like it's a sneaky energy. It's a thief energy. So you may feel like someone is trying to cheat you or steal something from you or take something from you. Maybe you feel like someone's taking credit for the work that you're doing, or someone is trying to steal your wife or husband or boyfriend, girlfriend. Because the Seven of Swords, there's a sneaky energy about it. It's a covert energy. So there might be things going on behind the scenes. And you feel like you're dealing with a situation that's just not fair. You may feel victimized. Because you have this Five of Swords here too. So there might be some legal issues that come up in February that have to be dealt with. If not legal, then at least some type of negotiation in a partnership. Where you might even have to go see a lawyer about something or resolve something so that it's favorable to both parties. Because right now I feel like there's this imbalance. One party might feel like they're getting cheated out of what's rightfully theirs. So in the past, you have the Nine of Cups. So this means you can overcome this. You will overcome it. And there will be, eventually there'll be a favorable outcome. It may not exactly be what you want, but it'll be fair. And Justice card is also a card of karma. So whatever you're dealing with right now, it's a result of, it's not punishment. You know, a lot of people think karma is punishment, but it's not. It's just that it's a reaction to whatever energies you've put out there in the past. Like you may have initiated something and now you're seeing the results of it. So if the results are not favorable, it's not, you know, it's not like the finger of God, you know, punishing you. It just means that this is the action, this is the reaction to whatever action you've taken in the past. So if you initiated something, you're seeing the results of that energy. But you will get your, the Nine of Cups. Now here's the thing with the Nine of Cups. It's a wish fulfillment card. And most of the times when the Nine of Cups is in a reading, it means you're going to get what you want. But when the Seven of Swords is also in the reading, it means that you may not get what you want exactly the way you want it. It may be a little bit different than what you were expecting. So you may want one thing, and you may not get that thing, but you'll get something else that's better. Or you'll get something, your wish will be fulfilled in a different way. So you can't be too controlling about it. You have to kind of let go and let it develop the way, according to the karmic plan. Because justice is karma. It means like you have, you incarnated into this life. You came into this life with a plan. And sometimes, we have free will. And we can make choices and decisions that sometimes alter the outcome of our plans. But sometimes some things are predestined. Some things because you've already made like a soul contract with someone. And so you might be going through that now. You might be dealing with some type of soul contract, some type of conflict that is karmic in nature, that you've already agreed to from another life or another time. And you just have to fulfill that obligation. And once you do, once you complete the karma, you complete that obligation, you'll be free to move on to, greater harmony. But right now you're in the thick of it. So the Nine of Pentacles, this is a recent past. You've been doing okay, somewhat okay financially. I mean, this is a card of having a house and a roof over your head, and you're comfortable materially. I mean, you're not starving. You're surrounded by material things. You're surrounded by things that you purchased, or you surrounded yourself to give yourself a sense of security. But at the same time, you're feeling lonely. So you may feel like, well, I want to share my life. So maybe you went through a divorce or some kind of relationship ended. And you may feel like it's not fair. I mean, whether it ended in divorce or death or just two people growing apart, you have a feeling of being, like of unfairness, like life is not fair, my life is not fair. And you're feeling kind of lonely. I feel like with this Nine of Pentacles, you're wanting to connect with someone, but you are caught up in this karmic situation that you have to deal with first. Now, coming up into the future, you have the Six of Swords and the Chariot. So these are cards of movement and change, and also negotiation. The Six of Swords is a card of learning how to navigate through a difficult time. So whatever you're going through right now, it's not easy. It's tricky. And maybe the people you're dealing with might be kind of sneaky and underhanded. So you have to be careful. You can't get drawn into the drama. You can't let people push your buttons. Because if you respond in a reactive way, you're going to only hurt yourself. Even if you wind up hurting the other person, if someone's being really nasty or mean or unfair, and you want to strike back, you're going to wind up, both people will get hurt. So that's not the right way to deal with it. If someone's playing dirty in a situation, the best way to react is to not react, not respond in kind. You have to negotiate. You have to use your fine mind to choose your words carefully and be more diplomatic, which is Libras are really good at being diplomatic and learning how to make, you're like the mediator. You're a perfect diplomat, trying to get everybody to agree and, satisfy both sides. But this is a tough conflict, this one. This one doesn't have an easy answer because the people that you're dealing with are not fair. They're not looking to compromise. They have a winner-take-all mentality. And they want to take it all away from you. Or they want to take whatever you feel like you've worked hard for. So you're going to have to be really delicate in negotiation. But you are going to move away from difficulty. That's coming. And the way that you can do that with the Chariot, You might be really upset about what's going on and your mind is all over the place, or your energies are all over the place. Like, I don't know what to do. I want to do this. I want to do that. You have to calm your mind. This Chariot is about, stop being led by external circumstances. Like, whatever's happening out there and it's disrupting your world, you have no control over that. All you can control is your reaction. All you can control is your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions. And that's what you need to focus on. You need to focus on your goal and not be distracted by all the craziness that's coming, that's like trying to distract you from achieving your goal. So here you are, you have like this vision and you want to do something, and then you have all these distractions. So it's really hard for you to achieve what you're wanting to achieve because your mind is on, is being pulled away. So this is a card of victory through discipline and focus. You have the Two of Cups here. So there's a potential for partnership with someone who feels like a soulmate, but it's in your fear sector. So you're afraid to initiate this, or you're afraid to get involved. And it's possible that you're being distracted by all this other stuff. And plus, you've got the Ten of Wands here in your environment. So you're either been working really hard, you're carrying this heavy burden. Maybe you're working all kinds of hours and you just don't have time for love. But you have to make time for love. You have to schedule downtime as much as you schedule work time. Because if you don't do it, it won't happen. But, things are really cooking in your career because you have the Three of Wands here. You're forming partnerships that are, the work that you're doing is starting to produce results. It's coming back. And you might be like juggling 2 different jobs or 2 different situations. So it's getting complicated. But you're coming to the point with this Five of Swords and the Seven of Swords. There's some legal thing that you have to resolve. Or there's some karmic commitment or karmic contract that you have to finish before you can move on to this new love. And this is a card of, both of these cards are about facing the truth in a relationship. So there could be a relationship that you're not willing to see the truth, or you're not willing to face the truth. But it really means like you have to see the truth, and sometimes it means cutting your losses and moving on. So if you're dealing with a toxic situation, whether it's work or career or a relationship, you really have to look at it seriously and say, can I live with this toxic situation? Yeah, it may bring me comfort and money, and, I'm making money and I'm, able to buy things, and I have a house and a roof over my head. But if I'm not happy, and if I'm existing, I come home drained every night, or I'm in a relationship and I'm fighting with this crazy person every day, or this person's constantly, having a drama or a temper tantrum, or there's always some issue that has to be resolved, and I'm just exhausted. Because this is a card of like exhaustion, Ten of Wands. You're carrying the load for everybody. And it's going to affect your health. You have to learn how to say no. Libra has a hard time to say no. You have to learn to say, you know what, I need to recharge this weekend. I can't deal with this. Or, no, I can't help you. I'll help you next week or next day. I need today for me. This is a card of, if I can't live with the person the way they are, then I have to cut my losses and move on. Because this situation is not going to change. This person is not going to change. So if you're in a toxic relationship, that person is not changing. They are who they are. You have to accept that. And if you don't like who they are, then you have to walk away. If you're in a toxic work environment, that's not going to change either. If there's certain political climate going on, certain, how some places are. They're just toxic. And people are backstabbing each other and gossiping and all kinds. If you're in that kind of environment, that's not going to change. So you have to ask yourself, can I live with this? Can I deal with it? Can I somehow stay out of the crosshairs, and just do my job and mind my business. If you can do that, fine. But know that it has limitations. You have to accept, yes, this situation has limitations that I can't fix. And all my worry and all my efforts, it's going to be a waste of energy. I have to just accept it. And if I can't accept it, then this is the key. Then I have to move on. I have to realize, okay, I've done all I can do. I've got to move on. And here, so you might even be contemplating a move in February. Because the Six of Swords is movement, especially with the 10. Sometimes it can mean a change of residence, a journey to a new location, or to a place where there's greater harmony. So you have to choose wisely with the Justice card. Balance things out. There might be an imbalance in your life where you're giving too much and you're not receiving enough. Or you're in a situation where you're not getting enough, you're not getting paid what you're worth, you're not getting, you're giving all this love in a relationship, or you're not getting anything back. So you have to evaluate that. You want to be in a fair, nothing is 50-50, but at least 60-40. You don't want to be victimized. You don't want to exist in a situation where you feel like you're not being treated fairly, or you're not getting what you deserve. So, and you have the Nine of Cups here. So you can get what you deserve. But it may take legal action, and it may take discipline. It may take a while. And it may take you waking up and realizing, like, I'm fighting a losing battle. I can't fix this person. I have to just make other arrangements. I have to resolve this in a different way. Maybe it means walking away. Or it means, taking someone to court. Or it means just accepting the reality of your new life. That this, I can't fix it. And it's a karmic lesson. You're learning a lesson through all of this. And you will come out stronger when it's all over. So let's see what the stars have to say, what astrology has to say for the month of February. So, Libra, you have a new moon in the 5th house. And the moon and the sun are conjunct Mercury. So you could be... 5th house is the house of romance, children. Mercury's communication. In Aquarius, you may be thinking, having innovative ideas. You can have fun in February, but you have the potential for a new beginning. And maybe once you realize you have to cut your losses and move on, you're going to give yourself permission to have a new beginning. Jupiter's in the 3rd house, so you could be connecting with relatives, like brothers, sisters. The luck comes from your neighborhood. Communication. Communication is really important for you achieving your goal. In a romantic situation, and even in if you're having discussions with siblings or relatives. Saturn's in your 4th house, and Venus is going through the 4th house also. So you could be busy fixing up your home, trying to make it the way you want it. Saturn is like putting down roots. It's demanding a lot of your time. You have Neptune in the 6th, so there could be some confusion going on at work. Some deception. Maybe you feel like you're sacrificing too much on the job and you're not being properly compensated. Uranus is in the 7th. It's in the tail end of Aries. It's going to be moving into Taurus. So this is like your last chance. All aboard, last chance. The bells are ringing to make changes in your relationship so that they're more authentic and more alive. You could have a sudden attraction to someone, or a sudden relationship could pop up out of nowhere. Especially Venus is in Capricorn. It was in Sag, and now it's moving into Capricorn. And Venus is not happy in Capricorn, because Capricorn is kind of a colder, Capricorn is, Venus wants to express love and affection. And in Capricorn, Capricorn's restrictive energy, so it's very conservative, it's very cautious. It doesn't lend itself to sudden outbursts of emotion. So Venus feels restricted in Capricorn. So you could feel that you have a hard time expressing yourself, expressing your love. And you may feel like, there's a coldness with Venus in Capricorn. You may feel like nobody cares. But the good side of Capricorn is stability and longevity. So Capricorn takes its time. It doesn't fall in love overnight. It doesn't believe in love at first sight. Capricorn says, I want to do the work. I want to take my time. I want a commitment. I want a strong relationship. I don't want some fly-by-night thing. So I'm not going to give my heart away. Capricorn's very discerning. Capricorn doesn't give its heart away very easily. You have to pass, the tests. You have to be like a pedigree to get the love of a Capricorn. But once you get the love of a Capricorn, you have it for life. I mean, they're very dependable. So where was I? Yeah, Venus, and then you have Chiron's in your 6th house also. So you have you might be doing some healing. If you're stressed on the job, it might be affecting your health. So you want to get a checkup. If you're not feeling right, it's good to go in and get a checkup. And don't stress yourself out. Don't overdo, don't overwork. Take rests if you need it. Take your time. The full moon is happening in your 12th house, 12th and 6th. So whatever you start, so this is a good time to get into, so with the new moon in your 5th house, and with Neptune in the 6th, things kind of come to a head at the end of the month between your work and also your emotional state. You may have some type of psychological breakthrough, or something might come to fruition or completion at the end of the month involving either health issues or work issues, or even psychological blocks, where you're dealing with. It would be a good time to talk to someone about whatever you're going through and get some guidance. Mars is in your 8th house, so Mars is stirring up your passion. It could bring a passionate relationship your way. Mars is telling you, you need intimacy. No one is an island. If you've been putting up with something that's not exactly right, go after what you want. This is the month to go after what we want. And break out of the box. Break out of your traditional thinking and ways of doing things. Try something new. Venus comes together with Capricorn. Mercury comes together with Neptune. So Mercury's coming together with Neptune in your 6th house in February. And Uranus is still in your 7th house. Eventually it'll move to the 8th and it'll hook up with Mars. When Mars and Uranus come together, and they will probably toward the end of the month, Mars is kind of conjunct Uranus. It already kind of passed over Uranus, but when Uranus goes into Taurus, it's a very restless energy when Mars and Uranus come together. Restless and reckless. So you want to make sure you're not jumping into things, that you're not making decisions on the spur of the moment. You want to give them a lot of thought. Don't do something because you're feeling, sometimes we feel restricted. And we go, I just have to do something, I don't care. Even if it's a mistake, I got to do something. I'm tired of the same old, same old. And you do something crazy, and then you regret it later. So don't do that. Just talk to someone. Get some advice. Talk to someone whose opinion you trust before you do anything reckless. And if you need to talk to a counselor, that would be a good thing, because the 12th house is being activated. So it's a time of clearing out the past. I feel like you're finishing up old karma, and it's preparing you for a new beginning. But right now you have to clear out the baggage of the past. You have to let go of the past, release the past. Clear out the garbage, clear out the basement, clear out the closets. You can do this even physically in your own home. But psychologically, you have to clear out those cobwebs, all those self-sabotaging thoughts and things that have been keeping you from going after what you want. You have the Nine of Cups and the Two of Cups here. What do you really want, Libra? You can have it. Go for it. Don't waste your energy in a toxic environment or a toxic relationship. Go for the soulmate connection. You can get that. But it may involve dropping some baggage. It may involve seeing the truth. Like I'm not happy, you know, in my current situation. I need to get out of it. Or I need to make some changes. So you're going to be finishing up some karma. And you're going to be ready for a new beginning. But I think now is a time of clearing. It's not really time for new beginnings, but you're preparing. It's coming in the future. But you have to set the stage for that. You have to clear up, tie up some loose ends first. So that's what you're going to be doing in February. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, Libra. And if you'd like a private reading, just click on the link in the description box. It'll take you to my website and we'll get you on the schedule. In the meantime, happy Valentine's. Don't waste your energy in a toxic situation. Hold out for the true love. Hold out for that soulmate connection. And don't do anything reckless. Take your time. Make sure that whatever you're doing, it's what you really want to do. And then full speed ahead. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. I'll talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now.